Hey guys, welcome to Fight or Flight Academy's Quarantine Workouts. We're all stuck at home with nothing to do, so might as well get some movement on. Remember, rule number 8, don't die. For today's workout, we're gonna hit the legs. Do a nice, good, quality leg workout. Now, you'll be able to do pretty much all of this stuff at home, but you will need a little bit of equipment. You will need something that you can put a foot up on top of. It doesn't have to be very tall. It can be the back of a couch or front of a couch, I suppose, a chair, anything like that. Even a couple of pillows will be fine. You'll need something heavy to hold on to at some point. I'm gonna use Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding. We're also gonna need a doorway that you can grab onto both door handles with, and either a stair or some kind of a small ledge that you can stand on, which we will get to later. But for now, let's get straight to it. We're gonna start with just kind of a little overall warm-up for the legs. So start with just an extension onto your toes and back down. We're gonna be kind of bouncing up and down a few times here. Lift it up and drop it back down. Up and down, up and down. Now let's take that a little bit more into kind of a jump. So jump a little tiny jumps, extend all the way through your calves as you're doing these. Now we're gonna take it a little faster and just bounce. Bounce and bounce and bouncing. And bounce on one foot. And bounce on the other foot. And back to both feet. All right, stop bouncing. Now we're gonna go through some little minor squats here, just little tiny ones. Keep your feet about the same hip distance apart here. Your weight should be on your heels. You don't wanna actually pick your toes up, but you don't wanna be standing on your toes. Your weight should be on kind of the flat ball of your, the bottom of your foot. And then sit back, do a little bit of a squat, and back up. We're not even gonna go down very far, just a little tiny, and back up, little, and back up. Always trying to go down a little bit farther every time that we go now. So maybe you're down to about halfway now. Maybe a little bit past halfway. Let's see how far down we can go here. Some of you may find that you're hitting kind of the bottom of your range of motion here. That's fine. If that's the bottom, then that's the bottom. If you can, maybe start going all the way down. This is kind of the final goal, is to be able to get into this full squat position here. If you can't get to here though, that's fine. Just go down as far as you can for now. Do a couple more of these. Again, this is just the warm-up. We will get more into this movement a bit later. Cool, now we're gonna get into the hips a little bit with just some kind of basic knee swings and leg kicks. So for starter, pick a leg, doesn't matter which one. I'm gonna use my left first and just drive your knee up and back down. We're gonna do 5 of these. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now let's go to the other side, same thing. Just driving that knee up 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now let's go back to the other side. This time, you're gonna take your knee across your body and then open it back up again. So that's 1, open it up. 2, cross and open. 3, 4, and 5. Now we're gonna do that with the other leg. Same thing, cross to open. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's go back to the first leg again, being my left leg. We're gonna do that same first one that we did with the knee straight forward, except you can use your entire leg now. So kick your whole leg up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now let's go to the other side, same thing, straight leg. If you're not kicking your leg up very high, that's perfectly fine. It can be right down here. Just keep your leg straight the whole time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Awesome. So now let's get into our actual workout here, now that our legs are nice and warm. This is where I want to find that nice heavy thing that you decided you're going to use. Like I said, I'm using Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding. It's a nice, big, thick book. You can use a gallon of milk. You can use, anything really. Anything that just has a little bit of weight to it. What we're going to start with is that squatting idea that I talked about before. Let me do it up here. Maybe you can see it better. So keeping your weight on your heels, if you hold a weight in front of you as you sink down, you'll probably notice that you can get a little bit farther down than you were able to before. And that's good. That's what we're going to try to do. Our goal is to get all the way down. If you can't get all the way down, that's fine. Just go down as far as you can. We're going to do this 10 times holding onto the weight. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. As you're doing this, think about sinking your hips back. 5. So don't worry too much about bending your knees, but sink your hips back. I think that's 7, 8, 9, and 10. Fantastic. Thanks, Arnold. Now we're going to do some lunges. Most of you probably already kind of know how a lunge works, but just a quick little explanation here. One foot out in front, other foot behind, bending down. You want to be far enough forward that your knee does not go in front of your toes. So if you're all the way back here and your knee's coming forward, you don't want that. You want to bring that all the way out here so that as we come down, your knee does not go in front of your toes. This knee can go all the way to the ground, but it really isn't supposed to. So we're going to do these a little bit weird. We'll start with just regular lunges, stepping forward. So step forward, bring that knee down, bring it back, and then do the same thing with the other foot. We're just going to do 3 of these on each side. Nice and easy for now. Just getting used to the technique. 1 more. Now we're going to do the exact same thing, but stepping backwards. This is a little bit strange for some people. So you're going to keep all your weight on this foot as you shoot this leg back and sink down, and the same thing here. Bring it back up. And then switch feet, keep all your weight on this foot, shoot that other leg back, sink down, and come back up. So let's try 3 of these on each side. This is 2, and 2, and 3, and 3. Awesome. Now we're going to take this lunge idea and bring it a little bit farther. So starting in a lunge, bringing it down, you're going to take this back leg and shoot forward. Bring your knee as high as you can, and then bring it back again. We're going to do this 10 times. 2, knee forward, leg back. 3, forward, back. 4. You can even get a full extension on this front leg if you want. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now let's switch to the other side. Do the same thing on this side. So starting your lunge, bring it down. Keeping all your weight here, you're going to drive this knee up and forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. Feeling good. Maybe shake that out a little bit. We're going to do 1 more lunge exercise. Kind of the same thing, except we're going to use our front leg for it now. So let's start in our lunge. This time what I want you to do is take this front foot and jump and bring that knee up and come back. We're only going to do this 5 times on each side, so it's a little bit harder. Up and down. 2, up and down. 3, up and down. 4, and 5. Then we'll switch it to the other side. Same thing on this side. So this front leg is going to lift up and back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Awesome. Feeling good, feeling the burn, loving it. So now we're going to go to our object that you can put your foot on. We're going to do another type of lunge. This is called a Bulgarian split squat. So it's basically a lunge with your back foot up on the obstacle. And the goal here is not to actually put any weight on that foot. So it should just kind of be there, but don't actually lean onto it all. Keeping your weight on your front foot, I'm going to think of sitting back till your knee comes down almost to the ground, and then back up again. We're going to do 5 on these on each side. 2, 3. Really think about using this front leg. 4, and 5. Now let's do the same thing on the other side. So lift that back leg up, but really just use your front leg as much as you can for this. Sit back and up. 1, back, and up. 2. The important thing is that your knee always stays behind your toes. 3, 4, whoa, try to keep your balance. 2, and 5. Fantastic. All right, now we're going to move on to some slightly more difficult stuff. If you have a harder time for this, you can stick back and do more of these lunges. That's perfectly okay. We're going to make our way to a door. So find a door somewhere that you can use. Hi, Deadpool. You want a door that you can grab both sides of the handle on. These doors are actually really great because you can kind of hold it up here, but pretty much any door you should be able to do this with. And we're going to do an assisted pistol squat. So a pistol squat is when you've got one foot out, we come all the way down and all the way back up. That's relatively difficult. That's why we're going to use the door. So standing on one foot, again, keeping your weight on your heel, trying to keep your knee behind your toe. Your other foot's going to be out there. Go down as far as you comfortably can, and then use the door handle to help yourself back up. And let's try 5 of these. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now let's try the other side. Again, keep your weight on your heel. Use the door handle as much as you need. 5 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you couldn't quite get 5 of those, that's okay. This is a pretty difficult exercise. If you got it super easy, then try to use the handles less and less and less. Maybe see if you can do it with just a finger on the handle, just your pinky on the handle. Next one that we're going to do, we're going to keep using the door. Instead of a pistol squat, though, we're going to do a skater squat. So it's the same thing, except instead of having your foot in front, you're going to put your foot behind. The goal now is to touch this knee to the ground without your foot touching, and then stand back up. So let's try 5 of these on each side. Foot back, again, sit back, touch the knee, and up. 1, touch the knee, and up. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch it to the other side. Same thing. Foot back, touch the knee, and up. 1, 2. Again, if this is super easy for you, just try to use the handle less and less. 3, 4, 5. Fantastic. All right. We got a lot of the hard ones out of the way. What we're going to do now is a different type of lunge. We're going to do a sideways lunge. So all I want you to do, start with your feet relatively wide, and you're just going to sink down to one side as far as you can. Hold it here for a second or two, and then come back up. Then we're going to go down to the other side. Sink down as far as you can. Hold it for a couple seconds, and come back up. We're going to do this 5 times on each side. This is 2. 2, 3, 3, 4. One more on each side. Keep it strong. 5. And 5. Nice job. Now we're going to go to your stair or ledge or any other kind of like small thing that you can just stand on the edge of. I'm going to use this stair right here. You want to be standing on it so that the balls of your feet are on there, your toes are on there, but I want a good amount of room for your heels to kind of hang down. If you let your heels just hang down, you should feel kind of a little bit of a stretch in your calves. That's good. Start there. Then we're going to lift up, push as hard as you can, be as high as possible. We're going to hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax, and bring it all the way down again. We're going to do that 3 times. So 2 more for 10 seconds. Lift it up, hold it, tighten it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Relax. Should really feel a nice burn in your calves from that. One more time, 10 seconds. You got this. Lift it up. 10, 9, 8, 7, squeeze it. 6, if it doesn't hurt, you're not doing it right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, now we're gonna do some of those kind of explosively. So we're only gonna pop it up as hard as we can, hold it for maybe a second, and then go down nice and slow. We're gonna do that 10 times. So pop it up super fast, and down nice and slow. That's 1. Pop it up, and down. That's 2. Up, and down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, adjust my feet, 8, 9, really explosive. Oh, get that last one. 10. Awesome. So that's a great little workout for your legs. Hopefully you're feeling the burn a little bit. Now we're gonna do a little bit of a cool down with just some basic stretches. The first one that we're gonna do, you're gonna love this. Feet about hip width apart, all the way down, and just hold it here. Now, if you can't all the way get into this, hold something in front of you, some kind of a weight, maybe the door handles that you were using before. Just kind of hold on to it. Go down as far as you can. I know if you haven't done this a lot, then this is probably not going to feel like a stretch or a cool down. It's going to feel like more of a workout, and that's okay too, because this position is really, really important, and you should be able to do this. This is considered a natural resting position for the human body. You should be able to sit here all day and feel absolutely nothing. If you look at like a 2-year-old getting something off the ground, this is how they move and how they sit. This is a very natural thing. The problem is we sit in chairs all the time, and you kind of lose this after a while. But the more you can get back into this, the better. So definitely try to get this. If you can get into this squat, you can start doing things like opening it up for a stretch and pulling it back in. You can do that a couple of times. You can reach across, stretch the back out this way and the other way. You can even challenge yourself by going onto one foot and bringing it back. Any of that stuff is great, but for now I just wanted to kind of get you into this position to hold it for a little while. If you haven't been able to hold it this whole time, that's okay. The more you do this, the better you're gonna get at it. So let's come out of that. And now let's do some actual stretching. Let's find a wall. I'm sure you've got those around. Let's stretch out the calf muscles that we had hit with the on the stairs there. So get your heel nice and deep in there. Keep your legs straight and try to push your hip up towards the wall. You can make this stretch feel a little bit different if you turn to one side or the other. For the most part, for the calf exercise that we were doing, straightforward is probably your best bet right now, though. And relax it. Switch legs, other foot in there. Get that heel in nice and tight. Push your hip up forward. Feels good. All right, relax that. Let's come on down to the ground. Have a seat anywhere you got a little bit of room. Stick one foot straight out in front of you, other foot over the top, and you're gonna reach forward and try to touch your toes. If this position doesn't work for you, you can do the same thing right here and reach forward. But I like this one because a lot of times when you're here, your knee tends to pop up, and we want to avoid that. So if you put your foot on top of it, you can't lift your knee up. So you can just reach forward, get a nice stretch here. Don't forget to breathe while you're stretching. Very important. And relax that. Now, another advantage of having our foot here is that we can go straight into the next stretch. You're going to keep this position, lean back a little bit, and just pull that knee up. This stretch is interesting. This is a stretch for the outside of this leg here. You're going to feel it different if you pull your knee in, if you push your knee out, if you put your knee over there, if you put your knee over there, or any combination of that. For me, I have to put my foot a little bit this way and then pull in on my knee, and I get a really nice stretch with that. But play around with it and find where your stretch is. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. You just have to find where your sticky spots are and hold it there. You can even kind of move through multiple of them. If you got like a couple, you can, oh man, nothing wrong with a little dynamic stretching too. Now for right now, we're only holding these stretches between like 15 and 30 seconds, which isn't really enough if you want to gain flexibility. It's pretty good for after a workout if you just want to be a little less sore, that's great. But if you want to get more flexible, you have to hold these stretches for a lot longer. All right, let's switch legs, get the other foot over here. Lean forward, grab your toes if you can. Again, if you have to put your foot down here, that's fine, does kind of the same thing. As long as you're feeling a nice stretch across the back of the hamstrings here. And relax that guy. Pull the knee up. And again, find your position here where you feel the most stretch. This stretch is also done really well against a wall. If you feel like you need a little more of a stretch, if you put your back up against something and then pull it up, all of a sudden it's way more of a stretch. So if you're slightly more flexible, this is a great way just to put it a little bit farther. Alternatively, you can flip over and do the same stretch this way and let gravity just kind of do the work for you. Then you can just relax here, maybe fall asleep, take a nap, sit here for a couple hours. I don't recommend that, that would kind of suck. But it is a lot easier to stretch this way because you don't actually have to be pulling on anything. Gravity does it all for you. Anyway, let's relax that one. Let's hit one more muscle here. We're going to get the quads, this big muscle up here. My favorite quad stretch, just lay down, grab onto this foot, pull it back as far as you're comfortable, and hook your toe on the ground. If you can't hook your toe like that, it's fine to just hold onto your leg. I just like hooking my toe so I don't have to think about it. And then you're going to think about pushing your hip forward as you're down here. You should feel a nice stretch right across here. And relax that. Let's switch it over to the other side. Again, pull that foot back, hook your toe if you can. Think about pushing this hip forward. You can even think about driving your knee downwards too. The more you can lengthen that out. The whole point here is that we're just trying to lengthen this whole line as much as we can. So the hip forward, the knee down. You can even take this a little farther if you put your other foot up here and pull on it, but that's a little rough. I don't even really do that one because that's like too much, but I've known people who need that. And relax that. Awesome. Well, nice job, guys. Hopefully you made it through all that and you enjoyed it. Keep practicing, and always remember rule number 8, don't die.